So we got a question on the motoringchronicle.com that I'm going to attempt to answer to the best of my abilities today. And this was submitted, I think, via the website actually on motoringchronicle.com. So shout out to Anthony Smith. Can I call you Tony Smith instead? I don't know. Either way, Mr. Smith. He asked this question: why is it that most car adverts in Britain show left-hand drive cars? This has been annoying for years. I am sure I'm not the only one. I look forward to your comments. And I'm sure you're not the only one, really, when it comes to this, Anthony. I believe this is a question that a lot of people ask because it's something you might not even notice, in fairness. Now, when you look at car adverts these days, when they're not Jaguar, obviously, but we're not going to talk about Jaguar's advert. But when you look at most car adverts that are shown in the UK, obviously, being in the UK, I'm kind of exposed to a lot of them. When you look at these, you will probably, if you look, you'll see that the steering wheel is actually on the left-hand side of the car that they're advertising for. So why is this? Why are they doing this? Why is it on the wrong side of the road in the UK? Well, there's a few reasons for this. The main one really is that you'll probably see that there is some kind of disclaimer on the screen when the car is shown to have the steering wheel on the left side of the car. Now, obviously in the UK, the steering wheel should be on the right hand side of the car because we drive on the left, but most of our European cousins do not. All of mainland Europe drives on the right hand side of the road, so their steering wheels are on the left. So if this advert was shown in Europe, it would be correct in a sense. It would be showing the car that you would see. However, in the UK, you'll probably see a disclaimer that says model shown, not UK specification, or words to that effect. Basically saying, look, this is not the UK model of the car, but it is still the car that we're advertising. You might not even see the disclaimer. It's usually in some pretty pale font at the bottom of the screen when the interior of the car is actually shown. And in truth, usually the main things that are changed for the spec of that is which side of the car the steering wheel and pedals are on. Aside from that, the car is pretty much the same as what would be sold in the UK compared to that in Europe. Now, of course, there is a kind of wider question to this, really. Why don't they just make a UK-specific advert? Why are they showing one that is actually, a car that's effectively the wrong model? Well, it's down to cost, effectively. Car adverts aren't cheap to film. They really are. Some of them are really, really expensive, and they're big projects at the end of the day. Even though it's only like a 2-3 minute advertisement, the amount of effort, the amount of people hours that goes into that, the editing, the filming, the thinking of it in the first place, actually marketing and getting it out there, it's very expensive. So to actually make one for the left hand side of the road market with the steering wheel on the right, it would be more costly. And again, for European car manufacturers in particular, so all the ones from Germany like Mercedes, Audi, BMW, all the ones from France like Renault, Peugeot, and all the ones from Italy such as Fiat and I wasn't going to say Ferrari don't advertise famously, Lamborghini, ones like that, they all drive on the right hand side of the road. All of mainland Europe drives on the right hand side of the road these days. The only parts of Europe that don't are the UK, Ireland, Malta, maybe one or two other places that not immediately jumping out to me. But basically, as big as a market that the UK is, it's not as big as the rest of Europe combined. We know that pretty well. So that's basically why. Now you might see again that American car adverts for example, right, or adverts for American cars, I should say, that are in the UK, you might still see, oh, well, those still have the steering wheel on the wrong side of the car. Well, again, it's because they drive on the right-hand side in America. I don't know the exact stats off the top of my head, but it's something like 70% of the world's countries and 70% of the world's population drive on the right-hand side of the road. So if you're going to produce one advert, it makes sense that just from sheer law of averages, just to put a car that has the steering wheel on the left-hand side of the car and just put a disclaimer saying, look, this isn't the UK model. And because most people don't even notice it. They're noticing the pretty scenery, they're noticing all the nice sounds, the car being, thrown around all these corners like a rally car or whatever. That's what you notice. You notice the functionality of it. You don't think, oh, that's not a UK car. It's a lie, because it's not really. And another telltale sign of this as well is that particularly, again, German and French car adverts, they're the most common ones we usually see here in the UK. You'll notice the number plate as well. You'll see the little, in case of a German one, so let's say Audi, for example, you'll see the number plate with the little D just the letter D at the bottom left-hand side, just like cars in the UK used to have GB on them with the European Union symbol, obviously before we left the EU, and that's a telltale sign. That shows you, well, that's not a UK car that we're seeing. We're seeing a German car. Same with France as well, having an F on there, or an FR. I can't remember what the letter insignia is for that. But yeah, that's basically why, guys. It's just law of averages, not wanting to produce another advert. And to be honest, most people don't know anyway. But noticed anyway, I should say. But Anthony, he did notice, and he made a very good point there. So if you guys have got any more questions for me here on the Motoring Chronicle that you want me to answer, I'm all ears. I'm up for anything. Let me know in the comments below. And of course, like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell as well. And we'll see you very soon, guys. Have a good one.